New Hampshire Republican congressional candidate Carolyn Leavitt is running to be the youngest woman ever elected to Congress, and she joins us now. Carolyn, good morning. It's great to see you. You're 25 years old, so you are certainly tapped into the youth vote. And Kirsten Soltis Anderson, who wrote that CNN op-ed, said that lack of youth voter enthusiasm could actually cost the Democrats the majority in this election cycle. So where do you think Democrats are going wrong, and how might you use this to your advantage?
Well, I am running to take back the majority from the Democrats because their policies are having a detrimental impact on my generation of Americans. Generation Z and millennial Americans have long supported the Democrat Party because their messaging is powerful. They're promising us that they can cancel our student debt, even though we know that is not true. That's a false promise that would be horrible for our economy. They're telling us that if we don't support policies like the Green New Deal, the world will end in 10 years. Well, that's not true either. And young people are waking up to that. I talk to them every single day, and it's because the radical economic agenda of the Democrat Party that's been pushed over the past 2 years is really costing young folks. The American dream has never been more unattainable for young Americans. Mortgage rates predicted to be 10%, inflation at 8.2%. Young people care about their pocketbooks too, and these issues are turning them to the Republican Party, and it's my mission to do just that.
Yeah, have Democrats become the party of the old, rich, white liberal? That seems like something the youth of America really doesn't want.
That's exactly right. And we saw that more than ever throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. Hypocritical Democrat elitists in Hollywood and California and in Democrat-run cities and states across this country, forcing students out of school for 2 years, missing proms, missing athletic games, missing their college graduations while they're partying at their ritzy upper-class homes and cocktail parties. This is not the American way. The Republican Party is the party of the working man and the working women. We want to uplift all Americans, regardless of race, religion, or creed, by unleashing the might of our American economy, lowering taxes for all, and ensuring, again, the American dream persists for my generation. Like I said, it's never been more unattainable or unaffordable, and it's really my goal to wake up the hearts and minds of young people across New Hampshire and America. We're doing just that in one of the most competitive House districts in the country. We won our 10-way primary, and now we're just a week away from flipping this district red, and it's a key pickup on the pathway to the majority in January.
Yeah, well, before you decided to run for Congress, you worked with Kayleigh McEnany as an assistant press secretary, and she told me yesterday that you are a rock star and a hardcore go-getter. And she also reminded me of the time when Trump was in office, where he would handwrite letters to families whose young children were murdered because of the rise in crime. And she told me that that was actually your idea for the president to do that, which I thought was very interesting. So what was your thinking there? And crime is a major issue on the minds of every American right now. So if you were to win, how would you address that issue?
Well, having served for President Trump alongside Kayleigh, I can tell you firsthand that the president cared deeply about victims across this country, crime victims their lives were taken far too short, and the president made sure that he was reaching out to those families. And now we're seeing the rise in crime again under Democrat policies across this country. You know, in the biggest city in my home state of New Hampshire, there was just a man this past week shot in the head in broad daylight. This is having an impact on every state due to bail reform and the defunding of our local police departments, which my Democrat opponent has supported. He also voted to strip qualified immunity away from our local law enforcement. So that's an utmost priority for me, to support our men and women in blue. I'm honored and humbled to have the endorsement of various police associations across New Hampshire, because they know I will always stand with them and stand to put criminals behind bars. We cannot have a country where law and order ceases to exist, because we will not have a country for very long.
Yeah, well, you are hoping to flip a blue seat red, and your race is being considered one of the most competitive across the country. So best of luck to you come next week, next Tuesday. We're getting down to the wire. Carolyn Leavitt, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Carly.